I was in the 4th grade, Miss Venanzo's class. I looked at Adrian, and Adrian goes at me and starts doing the John Wall. Because that night before, we had won the draft lottery, and we knew John Wall was coming. It seems like ages ago, because it was. And now this team is completely different. This team is young, but has a lot of talent, enough to make a playoff run. So let's talk about it. I want to hear right now down below in the comment section, what do you think the Wizards are going to be? Middle of the pack, playoff team, contender, or a lottery team? So let's get into it. What to expect from the Washington Wizards this year? One thing that I've come to respect Scott Brooks as the Wizards coach is that he's trying to build a culture. He's trying to use chemistry and have everyone connected and feel like they're together in this organization to be a great team. Because his system is a really balanced system. He's a guy who watches tons of film and likes to practice and make sure everything's right. But it's a very balanced offense, limiting turnovers, like just letting the best players go to work essentially, and then having wing players around, swing the ball around, and space the floor. But one thing that I've really respected him is he's trying to build a culture that they have never had. The Wizards have never had a culture, and he's trying to instill that. He's trying to build a winning pedigree, trying to get everyone to buy into the system, to want to be in Washington, to play for him, to want to be there, and not feel like, oh, I'm just signing here to make a quick cash. Nah, I'm going to Washington to be a part of a franchise, to help build something, to help win and create something, which I think is phenomenal. I think every coach is trying to do that, but if you're able to do it and you're able to like echo that message into everyone who's there and instill it through the building, that's something phenomenal. I think that Scott Brooks is doing something like that. We all know the Wizards won this trade. Russell Westbrook, even if John Wall comes back, Russell Westbrook was always a better player than John Wall. Yeah, I know John Wall meant a lot to Washington, and he himself knew how much Washington meant to him. But I want to say this. Even in their primes, I would take Russell Westbrook in his prime over John Wall. And that they only had to give up a first-round pick in John Wall to get a guy who wasn't coming off an injury, who wasn't 2 years removed from playing, essentially. Yeah, he was 27, didn't pretty much average 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists, and he shot terribly from three. If we can see him go back to, hopefully, first off, maybe, because Scott Brooks is his former coach, this is what I love. He's going back to his former coach. And this is before the Billy Donovan time. This is before at all this. So if you're looking at the years when Scott Brooks was there, he had a career year in his 2014-2015. He had 28 points, and he was killing it. It was before his run with the triple-doubles and all that. But still, Scott Brooks, as the coach for the Oklahoma City Thunder, he wasn't amazing. I think he's been a better coach now as the Washington Wizards. But when he was in OKC, he did a great job, and Russell Westbrook had his best seasons. His best three-point seasons were obviously with Billy Donovan, even though he only had 1 year where he shot over 30%. He's pretty much been a 29% three-point shooter. But he was a consistent 31 to 33% three-point shooter with Scott Brooks. Scott Brooks was able to make him be somewhat hitting threes more than Billy Donovan was ever able to make him hit threes, or Mike D'Antoni. So with that being said, I think we'll see maybe him be able to be a three-point shooter more than we ever expected, like Russell Westbrook to be, like in the past couple of years. I think he'll go back to being like a 31% shooter. I really think he'll help them for their playoff push. If Bradley Beal can be the man again, like I have no doubt that he can be the man, but continuing averaging 30 points or around that, being as efficient as he is, and putting up that defensive play he was. I mean, he had 1.2 steals, but like continue being the top 10 player he was. He was 400% sure a top 10 player last year, and it's without a doubt. And I feel like this year, yeah, he'll probably play a lot more off the ball. I don't know if he'll have 6 assists. I see him easily having 4 assists or 5 assists a game, but he won't have as much ball handling duty with Russell Westbrook there. Now the question is Scott Brooks, are you going to use him in a role kind of like Kevin Durant during your last couple of years where Russ and Kevin were there after you got rid of James Harden? Or are you going to invent a whole new role? And, I think their complete styles of play are different. And I think Scott Brooks has grown as a coach. So I think we're going to see something new. We're going to see Yeah, a lot of off ball, because Russell Westbrook loves his assists, and I think that's gonna help Bradley Beal get the best shots possible if he's playing off ball. But he'll still have some ISOs, he'll still have his on balls. I really think Bradley Beal this year will go again, have 30 points again. I believe me. The only thing that's going to keep him from getting 30 points is due to his shots. They're going to be a playoff team, that's without a doubt. But I think he'll probably be a 25 point per game at least. But I think he'll still be a top 10 player in the league. That's without a question. I think he can easily do that. He's just so much better than we ever anticipated. And I know he was the third pick of the draft, but I still didn't think Bradley Beal was going to become the freaking man. I love Bertans, and he was a great keep for them. They had to overpay. You got to overpay to keep. You saw what the Charlotte Hornets did, and I know DC's a bigger market than Charlotte, but still, man, it's not like, because the Washington area gets also the Maryland area and part of the Nova area, Northern Virginia, if you didn't know that. And Bertans had 15.4 points last year. I don't understand why. Someone tell me why. I get Bertans. He's not really a rebounder, but I'd rather him be the stretch four more than Hachimura. I know I'm saying that so wrong. Hachimura. Someone tell me how to say that. But he plays power forward. He's just so slow-footed. Like, I like him at power forward, but low-key kind of reminds me of Jabari Parker. Is that bad? I feel like that's a bad comparison, but, like, just in the sense that, like, post-injury Jabari, like, not like Jabari now in the sense of, like, athleticism-wise. Maybe that's mean. I feel like that's mean. Anyway, Davis Berton or Davis? I'm sorry. Just tell me how to say this right if I'm saying it wrong. But if you made it to this point of the video, hit that like button and subscribe. 42% shooter last year. And yeah, they had to keep him. He's 28 years old. The deal's a little bit longer than I would have liked to keep him. But you do what you got to do. But this brings me to the point that I want to talk about. I miss just talking about this guy. I was talking about him so much during the NBA draft season. Just like, I didn't know if you guys know this, but I was doing a lot of draft content. So he was the man. He's my guy. I love him. Danny Avita. I've been saying this. People are like, he could be like Lamar Odom, which I agree. He could be very much like Lamar Odom. But I see him being a mix of Lamar Odom and Hedo Turkoglu. He's going to be shooting trays and being a playmaker, similar to how Hedo Turkoglu was in his season with the Orlando Magic when he won Most Improved Player and went to the All-Star game in 2008. They also went to the finals. That is what Danny Avita is going to be. I've heard Avita is what I heard an Israeli commentator say. So I'm pretty sure Danny Avita is correct. Avita. Or Abdia. Someone tell me that. I've heard of thousands of it. I feel like it's never going to be right until he just says, yo, mofo, say it right. But this is a video, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Let me hear your comments down below. As always, guys have a great day, because I know I will. Tell us, guys. Peace out.